Hey guys, welcome back to Michio Makes. My name is Michio, and I like to make stuff. Today we've got part number 9 of the Toyota Sprinter Trueno AE86 by DeAgostini. This is actually a really good kit this time, so without further ado, let's take a peek at what's got inside. So as we get this in focus, you can see right here, we've got the water pump, we've got the timing belt covers, the timing sprockets for the cam shafts. We've got the oil pump down here, and I believe this is part of the oil pump too as well. And then we've actually got something interesting. This is the fog light brackets here, and a couple spacers it looks like too as well. So without further ado, let's just jump right into this and get it unboxed. All right, getting the wrap off. We've got the cover. We've got the frames again. The subscription information. The parts. All nice and lined up right there. Nice little orderly bag. And we've got our instruction manual. So it looks like we've got some more information around, I believe that's the Starlet and the Supra. Wanda Shibiku. Oh, this is the Honda Civic. Oh, I'm sorry. I totally didn't realize it down here. Wow, they're actually featuring some information around like kind of hatchbacks, other hatchbacks by other makers. And this is the Civic hatchback. That's really cool. And it kind of almost was like what almost like inspired probably the 86 and the body style and the sports compact. You know, they called it in Top Gear, and I guess in the UK the hot hatch too as well. Obviously these are Econo boxes. Like the people would buy these as commuter cars, really, right? Information around the Supra. Again, advertising the stuff that you can get. More order forms. This is actually, it looks like it's tear out, so if you want to actually use this as an order form, you can do that. And then the other information around the Supra. The MA70 engine specs. If you can guys see that, focus that for you. And we're right into instructions. So we are going to be doing some more front end stuff. As you can see, we have fog lights, bumper lights up here we're focusing on. Obviously the water pump, as I said before. Attaching that. Timing belt cover. Cam sprockets to here. Oil pump. And then actually grabbing the front bumper. Awesome. Let's take a look at the parts. All right, starting out this weak. We've got the timing belt. Look at that. Obviously, this is plastic. You can just obviously try to make it so that people actually can fit it on without too much trouble. It does feel actually this is rubberized, but it's actually formed so that it can go around the sprockets pretty well. As you can see there. Got the timing belt cover plate. This is plastic, I believe, yes. This looks like the oil pump cover. I believe this is the bottom portion of the timing belt cover. Looks like the front portion of the water pump. And the rear portion of the water pump. Looks like this might actually be almost like a crank pulley. I don't actually know. We'll take a look at it and see where that goes. But that might actually be crank pulley. This looks like one of the brackets for the fog lights, I believe it was, on the front bumper. There are two of them here. And last but not least, oh, actually, no, this looks like a sprocket for the crank right at the bottom of the timing belt. And last but not least, the cam sprockets. They're gonna go on the camshaft. Very cool. Lots of detail on these. Very nice. And for screws this time, we've got AP, AM, and SM. All right, let's grab the pieces that we need for assembly. Okay, the two main pieces that we're going to need for assembly are obviously the engine, but also the front bumper. God, look at this, just the scale of that. That is so huge. I'm just kind of still blown away every time I look at this, at how huge this is. Okay, well, the instructions start with the engine. Let's go ahead and start with the engine. Okay, first things first, it looks like we're starting on the water pump and we're just putting them together and then using an AP screw to get them screwed together and then placing them directly on where the water pump needs to go. So we'll take these two parts and combine them, looks like that. And there needs to be an AP screw right there. So we'll have AP screw. All right, nice and solid. And the way to place this, from what it looks like, is that we've got to use this hose right here for, it's a water line, hard water line. And then place this portion right on top of that. And then this little keyway, this little nub right here, and this keyway hole right here. It's going to be in the block. Right there. All right, that looks good. See how it kind of gives you that illusion of those two being bolted together. But in actuality, we're going to be using a SM screw to lock that down right there, that hole, that bigger hole right there. Down for a second. SM screw here. Put it right in that hole right there. And that locks the water pump in to this hard line right here. What a great look, actually. I mean, it looks like it's bolted together because you can see it from that side right there, right here. It's little two pieces. But in actual, it's just set there with a screw here, and then these are two screwed together. And that was actually a pretty quick part for the water pump, so that's all we had to do was those two small bolts. And it connects it right there. We're good to go. Okay, the next part, we're actually connecting the cam sprocket cover right here to the block, or actually the head here. And we're going to be using an SM screw. Get your cover right there. Just focus here real quick. Place that on top. Looks like it's good alignment. It's aligned right there. We put this SM screw right here in the middle. Make it real easy. That's nice and secure. Give it a little bit quarter turn. Good. Now that's secure. Excellent. Okay, I just need to verify that actually the next part are the cam sprockets. And if you actually look on them, they actually do have a variation between the sides. So you've got a side with, kind of extruded out and then recessed right here. And you need to put this recessed port down here. So place it on just like that. And then we use an AP screw for both. So I'm actually just use a screw like that and place it on the sprocket like that. here. Oops. The big thing is I'm not going to actually torque these down all the way, just because I want to make sure that the timing belt gets keyed, because there are teeth on this timing belt. It's keyed correctly, so it just looks more flush, more complete. The other sprocket here. Cool. All right, after installing the sprockets, actually we move right to the oil pump down here. And the oil pump goes right here above the oil pan, obviously. I see right there. It slides right in here. Kind of gets placed right there. And we've got two places for screws. One here and one here. And we're going to be using the AM screws here for these ones. When we're, as I've said many times, as I'm screwing into metal, I want to take it really easy and not over torque. Number one, I don't want to strip the threads on the top, but also in the screw itself. That looks great. Oil pump is all set in there. Now we're going to take, looks like this pulley here. There are two different ways. Let's take a look at this thing real quick. Grab it here. Two different orientations for this thing. You've got this side, flip it over, and then this side too as well. So I'm trying to determine through the instructions what side goes to what. Okay. Got it. So this recess portion, it's a little bit deeper right there. See that? This is actually, it looks like the timing belt tensioner that gets placed right here. Right there. See that? And that takes an AP screw. and put it right there. And then this crankshaft sprocket, crank sprocket right here. Whoops. Jumped right over here. There's a recessed portion right here and a flat portion on this side. This gets put right here on the bottom. Boom, boom. Another AP screw. And screwed right on top. Awesome. So we've got the sprocket here, crankshaft sprocket, belt tensioner, 2 camshaft sprockets up here. And then the next part is actually getting the belt on. Click right here. Again, I did not torque these down just so I can kind of make sure it gets aligned correctly. Gets a wrapped around this way. That, and then obviously the belt tensioner. Look at that. Look at that. It is a little loose. It looks a little funky with kind of loose, but I mean, obviously it's a model, right? You don't want it super torqued down. Look at that. Now with these kind of aligned and good to go, these look like they're on teeth. Let's just go ahead and get these torqued down just a little bit more because I know I did not do this fully. It's good. The belt tensioner right there. That looks awesome. Look at that detail. And what's so funny is that put all this time with the timing belt, all these sprockets and pulleys and the belt tensioner, and this is going to get covered up. That's the funniest part, because actually the next step is literally putting a cover right here. So it's like, hey, check out this really cool detail. By the way, we're covering it up. Looks like it goes right here. Yeah. So even with the belt tensioner right there, you know it's there. I know it's there. Yeah, see? The belt tensioner right there, we just put that in. Gets immediately covered up. Right? And we're using an SM screw. Get this cover down. That's great. Just look at that detail. Just admire it. That is so cool. And with that part installed, we're done with this part number 9 for the engine. Okay, so the next part is actually these fog light covers here on the front bumper. You actually just see these little holes right there. You take these angled pieces and you jam them in here. I believe that this is an optional accessory. That I know that there is fog lights that you can get with these kits. I do not have that yet, but I hope to find some in the near future. They go in there just like that, and we're set. I believe if you actually do get the fog lights, you can actually pop these out and then install those too as well. But for this part, remember we did the water pump. We did the water pump, oil pump, cam sprockets, crankshaft, sprocket, belt tensioner, belt, and the timing belt cover, and also the timing belt cover in the back too as well. It is really coming along. That is so pretty. But that is it for part number 9 of the Toyota Sprinter Trueno AE86 by DeAgostini. If you guys enjoy these videos, I really appreciate a like and a subscribe. I'm going to be doing all of them, so I hope that you can join me. I will see you guys in the next part. Thank you very much, and have a good rest of your day. Bye now.